Good morning and welcome to Peace Out, where we are all learning together to peace out. And I don't know about you, but man, has God given me plenty of opportunities to just look back at Him, right? I get every day has all these opportunities for me to stop, breathe, and go, I'm going to peace out. That just basically, you know what that basically means? I will trust God. That just basically means I'm going to trust you, God. That's what we're going to talk about today. I found myself in Psalm 1. I actually read through 141, 143, 144. Nope, that's it. That's all I read through this morning. And I was just, there were several spots where I was just like, man, this is just what I liked today. And, you know, what I needed today. And so, I've told you before, when I find something that just reaches in my heart there, I just camp there. So I camped there this morning with my whole cup of coffee. I camped in these about 4 Psalms. Then I just thought about them. I'd read a little bit and think a little bit about this and think a little bit about that and what that really meant and how is, I say this a lot, but I do believe the Bible is still applicable and practical for today. How can I apply this to my life? How can I take this lesson from what the psalmist says or from what David says? And how does that apply to me in the New Testament? How does it apply on this side of the cross? How is God still with me today and things like that? And so I spent my time this morning just these 4 Psalms, just praying some of the verses and thinking about some of them and how I can apply it to me, rather than just, hey, how can everybody else use this? Because we got to put it here, right? I can't apply the word for you. I can't peace out for you, even though I can peace out and encourage you to peace out. I can't do that for you. I wish I could. I wish there was a button. Where'd that button go, right? But we can't do that for each other. So I have to apply it to me. But when I apply it to me, then I can say, hey, this really works. God really answered. God really gives peace. God really works. It works in our day to day. That's what peace out is all about. Going, God didn't change anything He said just because things went crazy in this world. And we're coming up on March. That's going to be our 6-year devotional anniversary, right? So anyway, so in Psalm 143, I don't know how far I'm going to get. I'm probably just going to do the first verse this morning, because here's this. David, through these Psalms, David is really praying. He's spending that time in a cave. Psalm 31 was written in the cave, and he's running from Saul or some enemies or something in these few Psalms. And so he's praying, he's writing, he's pouring out his heart, which is what we need to do when things go bad. Sometimes we don't talk to God because we're mad. I'm mad at you, God. Why did you let this happen? Why did you let that happen? Why did you let me get this far? Why? And sometimes we get angry with God, which He expresses that sometimes too. Sometimes He says, like in 141, He says, Lord, I'm calling to you. Please hurry. Listen when I cry to you for help. If you ever feel like God's not listening, that's what I love about these Psalms is it's downright honest. It's personal. It's raw. It's real. David was in distress. And he's hiding out, he's running, whatever's going on in his life is stressing him out, and he's having to learn how to run back to God with it. And that's the key to piecing out, is just always running back to God with our it's, right? And so in 143, he says, hear my prayer, O Lord, listen to my plea. He's like, God, please listen to me, and don't just look at me and act like you're listening. I need you to hear my heart. And then he says this, and this is where I camped. Answer me because. Now he could have said because anything, because I need you to, because I'm going to die if you don't, because I'm going to lose it. I'm going to totally lose it if you don't. He said, answer me because you are faithful and righteous. And that's where I camped. I want God to answer me. And, and our prayers, come on, our prayers can be really manipulative. We can try to make all kinds of bargains with God. And, God, if you'll just get me out of this, I'll do that. I'll never do that again. All right. But we are human, and God just goes, in 2027, you're going to do this exact same thing, and you're going to pray this exact same prayer again. And I'm going to be there for you just exactly like I am right now. He's an exact God, right? And I love that about him. So but David says this, answer me because you are faithful. You are righteous. I love that redirect because he's pouring out his heart and he's going, man, everything feels broken. Everything is added. I feel like I'm in a pressure cooker or I'm in a kiln being fired up, right? And being purified and cured, right? Maybe I feel like I'm in a crucible of life. David's like, everything's broken. Nothing's working right. Please answer me, God, not because I deserve it, not because I prayed it just right and found just the right words to express exactly what I'm feeling. Answer me, God, because I prayed the right scripture this time. I found a scripture and I prayed that scripture. Now answer me. No, it says, answer me because you are faithful. What a redirect. What a way to shift off of his own stuff and to the faithfulness and righteousness and just honest presence and peace of God. I need that redirect. Do you? Right? I don't know. Maybe nobody else needs that redirect, but I need that redirect today, right now, right? And so he shifts that. Answer me, Lord, because, and then that shifts your whole attitude, that little because, that little conjunction there. Answer me because. And then you could just take that pause, take up a cause and make a pause and go, because, not because I deserve it, not because I need it, even though I do. Not because of anything except that you are faithful. You are righteous. And man, that is just invigorating to take that pause, that because pause, and we'll call it the because pause. Because did he stop there when he was writing it? Did he stop there when he was praying it? Go, answer me, God, because does God have a reason to answer me? He doesn't have to. God doesn't have to answer. He doesn't even have to pay attention, but he does. All of our days were written before he said, let there be light. He knew about this day, whatever today is, February 9th, 2026, Monday. He knew about this day before he said, let there be light. And he knew that our hearts would be calling on him and he's going to answer us because he's faithful, because he's righteous, because he's God and I am not. He's going to answer us but our becauses don't have anything to do with us except us trusting him because he is righteous and he is faithful. And man, just in that moment, just thinking about that, taking that moment to meditate on because he's faithful. He's still here with me and I'm a mess. He's still here with me and I mess up lots of stuff. I'm worried. I'm wringing my hands sometimes saying, oh, what am I going to do about that? What am I going to do about that? God, this is all yours. But still, and he knows that. And yet he remains faithful because he knows those who call on him. He knows those who are trusting in him. He knows us. He is faithful. And that's why I can trust him. And that's why I can peace out today. Peace out. I hope I said something that made sense. I'll see you again tomorrow.